Hey guys, what's up? It's Michael here from QSocials.net, and I'm just making this quick little video right here to talk a little bit about the whole Shadowban issue, because a lot of people have been contacting our agency recently, and also me personally through this YouTube channel, asking if they are Shadowban, right? So they come to us and they tell us, oh, I'm not getting any views anymore, I'm not getting any likes, am I Shadowban? Can you have a look at my account? And in this video right here, I kind of want to answer the question. Actually, I want to go through a few things. First of all, I want to be talking about how to actually find out if you're legit shadow banned or not, because a lot of people think they're shadow banned, but in reality, they're not. The second thing I want to be talking about is if you're not shadow banned yet, how to avoid actually being shadow banned. And the third thing is, if you actually happen to be shadow banned, I want to show you how you can get the shadow ban lifted, or if that's not possible, because in some cases, unfortunately, it is not possible, I will kind of show you like a little workaround right here where you can basically create a new account that is completely safe from any shadow bans that might be caused by your previous shadow banned account. So if that sounds good, oh, by the way, before I forget, I want you guys to leave a comment with some of the takeaways that you got from this video right here, simply because that helps out a lot of people. And what I also want you guys to do is to include your TikTok username in the comment. And what I want you to do is I want you to follow 5 other people in the comment section, so that way we can all gain a few followers from this video right here, okay? So without further ado, be sure to check out the video and enjoy the content. So yeah, as I said in the intro, a lot of people are contacting us asking if they're shadow banned or not. And first of all, I can tell you that around 99 out of 100 people who contact us and think they're shadow banned are actually not shadow banned. So that means only around 1% or even less, maybe like 1 out of 100 people is actually shadow banned by TikTok. So that being said, you might just be low on views for a certain period of time without actually being shadow banned, but you think you are shadow banned, but it's actually not the case. So let me tell you a little bit how the whole shadow ban thing actually works, okay? What a shadow ban basically is TikTok actively suppressing your content from going out there. And the reason why TikTok is doing that is simply because you've done something in the past that doesn't align with TikTok's guidelines and TikTok's terms of service. So here we already have the first problem. Most people do not actually read TikTok's terms of service, right? I mean, I didn't do that at first. I've never read any terms of service before, but I actually went on TikTok's terms of service page and read it, and it's actually not that complicated. It's not even that long, so it's actually worth a read. So because TikTok is very harsh on the shadow ban thing. So if you do happen to get shadow banned, which of course, as I said before, most people who think they're shadow banned are not, but if you do happen to get shadow banned, it is a little bit tricky to get around this, and it is a little bit tricky to get out of it. So I want you guys to avoid being shadow banned at all costs. So what I want you guys to do is, first of all, be sure to actually read their terms of service so you see exactly what content is prohibited and what content is good to go, okay? All right, so let me tell you a few things so you guys can find out if you're actually shadow banned or not. So first of all, if you still get your posts on the For You page, even if it's just for a very short amount of time and you get very little exposure, if it does hit the For You page, that already means you're not shadow banned, because if you're shadow banned, you will never ever hit the For You page again. That's a given, okay? If you still get views at all, you're not shadow banned. If you still get views, if you get 1 view, 2 views, 3 views, 4 views, you are not shadow banned. And also, if the views are higher than your amount of followers that you have, like let's say you have 1,000 followers and you get like 2,000 views. Like let's say you normally average 10,000, 20,000 views. Now you get like 2,000 or like 1,000 views. That means you're not shadow banned. That just means that your videos or your TikToks right at this moment, they are just not performing that well. That's just the case. That might be caused by many other different things that I cannot get into in this video right here because would just take too much time. But obviously, there's a lot of different factors that go into how many views and how many likes and stuff that you get. It could be anything, right? It could be you still doing stuff that's just not trending anymore, that's just not that great content anymore. You just have to really take a look at your content and see if it actually is still good. You know, especially for a lot of people, they've been doing a lot of content for a long period of time, so they kind of, especially content that works, so they kind of got used to certain types of content that work, but over time it kind of slows down and people are not that much interested anymore in this type of content. But the creators don't really get it. They think, oh, it worked, so now it always has to work. You know, that's not the case. So be sure to first check your content, your quality of content, before you even think about being shadow banned or not. That being said though, if you have not been on the actual For You page for a very long time, you might be shadow banned. Also, what I've seen a lot of people say is, they come to us and they be like, yo, Michael, I got 5,000 followers, right? My videos only get 1,500 views. Am I shadow banned, right? And the answer is basically no, because followers do not equal views. Just because you have a lot of followers, or you have a certain amount of followers, better to say, doesn't actually mean that you get the same amount of views every single time, because there's a lot of people who follow others and they just don't really watch their content, okay? So that doesn't necessarily mean that you're shadow banned, okay? So all of the things that I listed right here are basically the things that don't mean that you're shadow banned just because they're going on for you. I just wanted to get that out of the way. And by the way, at the end of the video, I will show you exactly 2 things that you can do to test if you're actually shadow banned or not. But before I do that, let me tell you real quick the actual reasons why TikTok is shadow banning certain creators. So the very first one that I see over and over again is if a creator goes out there and just privates or deletes their posts on like a massive scale. Like, let's say they have a few hundred posts and they just private all of them at once. That can be a reason for a shadow ban. Also keep in mind, with all the reasons that I'm telling you, other than the copyright strike ones, none of these reasons are actually like ultimate reasons where, like, let's say you do that and that means you're shadow banned. That's not how it works. Like, if you private or delete a lot of posts, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will get shadow banned. What I'm trying to say is it just makes it more likely that maybe if you do that and in combination with something else that you do wrong, it can be very likely that TikTok will actually shadow ban you. So I'm just giving you a few things to watch out for, okay? So first thing is, do not private or delete a lot of posts at the same time, right? Second thing, obviously, everyone should know that if you go out there and buy fake engagements, like fake likes, fake views, fake subscribers, fake followers, you will get, not you will, but you might get punished for it. You know, a lot of people get away with it. Obviously, a lot of people do get away with it. But if you plan on not getting shadow banned, the best thing is to just stay away from that, you know? People do get shadow banned for buying these fake engagements, especially if they're very low quality. I know there's a lot of companies out there that do deliver high quality followers. I'm not advising anyone to do that, but there are different types of companies who deliver different types of services. So I wouldn't just say it's bad per se, but it can definitely hurt your account in the long run, okay? Another thing that comes to my mind is when people go out there and they cross promote certain accounts, or they cross engage their own accounts when they have multiple accounts, and we all basically have multiple accounts, right? If we're in different niches and we take this seriously, usually we have multiple accounts. But they do it on the same phone with the same accounts, like they post with one account, and then they go in there and they jump to the other account on the same phone with the same IP address, and they like and comment on their own accounts post, basically, right? So they cross promote each other, and that's something that TikTok hates to see, and that's a super red flag, right? So if you do happen to manage different accounts, never cross like or cross comment on these accounts. It's totally fine to have multiple accounts. TikTok has nothing against that, but you cannot cross engage them. It's just something you can't do. The next thing I see a lot of people do, especially people who are not from the US or from the UK or from like a first world country, a lot of them, what they do is, in order to get a US account or whatever type of account, right, in whatever location, what they do is they use a VPN, right? The thing with a VPN, it's basically, if you don't know what a VPN is, there's VPNs out there like NordVPN and stuff like that. It's basically a software that hides your real IP address and makes TikTok or any website on the internet think that you have a different IP address. So what they do is they change their server location to like maybe the United States, but in reality they're in Africa, and then they create a TikTok account on that IP, right? So they can get a US TikTok account because they think if they have a US account, for example, that they have higher chances to attract the US audience, right? So the thing with that is that actually works. But what they do wrong is they create the account with a certain IP that is not their actual real IP, and then they use it on their phone with their actually IP. Like, let's say they're in Africa, they use a VPN to pretend that they're in the US, but then they scroll through TikTok and it shows their real IP because they don't always use the VPN. So if you use a VPN, what you have to do is you have to always use it, even not just when you post, but also when you scroll through TikTok, because TikTok actually sees, they have logs, right? So they have user logs. So when you go in there, they see all your activity, right? Even if you're not posting, even if you're just liking, commenting, scrolling, they see from which IP that's coming from. So, and if you constantly change your IP, like let's say you change your IP from posting to like just scrolling, it changes the IP, then that's a red flag, because no real person can be in the US and 2 minutes later be in Africa. It's just not how it works. The main reason why most people get shadow banned on TikTok is because the content they post is not in alignment with TikTok's terms of service. So what I'm basically saying is they're not in alignment with the community guidelines, and they get copyright strikes. Those are the two main reasons why people get shadow banned on TikTok, because they simply do not follow the guidelines. So, and I promised you to show you how to actually find out if you are legitimately shadow banned or not. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So the first way to do it, or what I want you to do, is if you are suspicious, like if you think that you might be shadow banned, so if all the things that I said previously in the video right here are applying to you, then what I want you to do is I want you to go out there and for 3 days, post 2 times a day and do 2 reposts and 2 duets, okay? Do that for like 3 days. You will see if you're shadow banned or not, because if you do that and none of these posts hit the For You page, you are definitely shadow banned. So now you might ask yourself if that applies to you, which again, usually only applies to like 1 out of 100 people max. What you then want to do is you want to post every single day for the next like 10 to 14 days. You want to post at least 4 to 7 times. That's what we usually recommend to people that happens to. 4 to 7 times for the next like 10 to 14 days. And that should bring you back to the For You page, right? So every day you want to check if your posts actually hit the For You page. In the first few days they won't, but at some point they should hit the For You page. If not, that unfortunately means that you're probably shadow banned for life. And what that means, and that brings us to the last point that I'm making right here, is it probably means that you have to create a new account. You have to create a new account. So right now you have 2 options, right? You can either go out there, take a little bit of money in your hand and buy an actual account in your niche that's already existing, that already has a few followers, but that usually costs a few $100, right? But it will give you a head start, so you wouldn't have to put in all the work again. You know, that's just something that I'm saying. You don't have to do this, but a lot of people out there do that. It's just a kind of like a shortcut. It is possible, but what you want to do is, most of you guys probably will start a new account if that happens to you. So what I want you guys to make sure is, once you create that new account, be sure to use a different IP address that you've used with the first one that is actually shadow banned, right? Because TikTok, they can see your IP. Take your phone, make sure you sign out of the Shadowban account, delete your TikTok, and then reinstall the app, and then go to Starbucks or to any other like public Wi-Fi and then create the account from there if you can't afford a VPN. And make sure that you don't repost anything of the Shadowban account, because a lot of people, what they think they can do is they can just create a new account, and in order to get their post back, they just repost from their old Shadowban account. That doesn't work, because what you want to basically do is you don't want to leave any links from like your new account. You want to leave any traces, right? So you don't want to leave any links from your new account to your old account, right? So you want TikTok to think this is a brand new account. So now you basically know if you're shadow banned, if you're not shadow banned, and if you are actually shadow banned, what to do about it. So yeah, I hope this video helped you, but keep in mind that's just one thing to know. when it comes to success on TikTok, right? If you really want to be successful on TikTok, there's so much more to know. And you can watch all my other YouTube videos. What I also want you to do, I created a free live training that I do twice a week. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to click the link in the description down below and just follow it, and you will land on a page where you can register for this live training, and we will jump on the call, and we will I will give you some tips and tricks that you can use on TikTok for free, of course. And yeah, that's basically how it goes. So if you like the video, be sure to like it and also subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget to leave a comment with your TikTok username so others can follow you. That being said, as always, have a great day and see you in the next one.